What's up guys, Spencer here. We're back in the garage doing another video for you guys today. Wanted to make a video talking about the electric e-truggy class, as it's truly one of the more popular classes across the United States. When you go to all these different regional events, the Psycho Nitro Blasts, the Wicked Weekends, the AMSs, Silver State, DNC, whatever it may be. And the electric e-buggy, e-truggy classes, they're just a popular class because it's so easy to build up, buy the electronics, put the motor in, get the batteries. You don't need a pit person or mechanic to kind of tune the engine to kind of keep it running. It's an easy class to go out there, have some fun, and do well in. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things that are important about electric e-truggy and e-buggy when you're at these events, of tuning the speed control settings to the motor, to the gearing, and the batteries. So stay tuned towards the end of the video, as you'll see a demonstration of the electronic settings that I have in my e-truggy from this past weekend's 2026 Psycho Nitro Blast. I had a good weekend in both electric e-buggy and e-truggy classes. So I kind of wanted to talk about the things that are really important. Most cases that I see when we're going to these events is everyone that runs electric truggy or buggy runs way too much power. And I can't stress to people enough of when you watch the pro guys tune their power band and have the ability to keep it controllable and easy to drive, but also maintain the runtime for the long 10-minute races, especially for the main events. We're going to take a deeper dive in, and I'm going to start off by talking about the radio settings. Most people don't tune their throttle EPA when it comes to their electronic settings. I always tune my power settings when I'm on the fly for a start of a qualifier, where you'll see, like right now, which I'm not sure if the camera will change over, but it ultimately determines of how much power you're really wanting. For a quick and easy way, I'd go down on my EPAs from 100 to 95, 94% to kind of make it easy to drive. But sometimes if you go too low, you'll end up using more throttle to keep the car maintaining speed, so you'll end up burning through a lot more battery milliamps for like the longer runs. So for the qualifying efforts, I like to run between 94 and 95% on the EPAs to keep the car controllable. And then when the main events start, I like to start off with a little bit more power than I want, but I know at the end of the run, the power will be appropriate to what I'm wanting when the battery starts getting lower. So that's my little insight of the radio tuning. Let's take a quick dive in of the equipment that I'm running this weekend, or that I ran this past weekend. It's traditionally what I always run in all my cars for the electric side of things. And all these ESC settings and inputs and setup tips that I'm giving will apply to any electronics that people are running in the industry. Most electronics have similar settings. I choose to run Hobbywing, as many other people do. I truly believe it's the most reliable and consistent electronics package on the market, hands down. So let's take a deeper dive in. I'll take the body off, show you the ESC and motor that I'm running, talk about the gearing, and then we'll go into the ESC settings and go in from there. So this vehicle right here is an e-truggy. It is the bigger form of electric racing that we do. Start off by talking about the motor package. This is the 2200 kV Hobbywing motor, which is the short kind of buggy style motor for electric racing. They do make a longer motor, which is the 2250, which I don't prefer because it just makes too much power. Kind of wanted to talk about the fan placement. It is important for these cars to always run a fan for just safety reasons, so it doesn't overheat. So I always recommend doing that. This is just double-sided tape. It's pretty easy to do. The wire goes to the receiver box runs off of whatever the BEC voltage is set to, which I believe mine is set to 7.4, which we'll go into the settings here in a bit. To talk about a little bit of the gearing, most of the vehicles, race vehicles on the market are very similar front and rear overall drive ratios. So I'm running a 15-tooth pinion with a 46-tooth spur gear. So like Techno, Mugen, Associated, all the vehicles are very similar to that aspect. And then kind of moving towards the electrical side of things, the speed control of choice that I have here is the XR8 Pro speed control. It's just the same speed control that I run in both e-buggy and in e-truggy classes, which comes with the, I believe this is 11 gauge wire here. So I've kind of switched over from 11 gauge to 12 gauge on the buggy just to save some weight, but for the e-truggy I still kept on the stock wire diameter. And then kind of moving towards the batteries, this is a 7800 milliamp medium pack. I like running a little bit more milliamps for the longer runs, especially for a big vehicle like this. It just keeps it so the power stays consistent through the whole run. So that's pretty much a download of the electronics that I have in this. Let's plug in the program box. I'm going to screen record on my phone so you can see it loaded up on the Hobbywing app and go through the settings, talk about the settings that I'm running and why, and hopefully you guys learned something, and we'll go in from there. Okay, now that you got your program box connected to your speed control, we're going to go to parameters. And let it load up here. Okay, so to start things off, I wanted to talk a little bit about the cutoff voltage, thermal protection, motor protection. I have these all turned off because of the longer races. I'm basically riding or dying with the motor and speed control to not turn off with any of the safety features. This is really not recommended if you're practicing, but for main events and qualifiers, you probably want to have it off just to ensure that, hey, I'm going to finish this race no matter what. BEC voltage is at 7.4. I do recommend that because this keeps it the same feeling if you do go back and forth between nitro 8 scale and electric 8 scale. The servos for the nitro cars run at 7.4 volts, so you might as well keep the same servo speed for both. Motor rotation, it kind of determines on which vehicle you're running. For the associated vehicles, I run on CW. So this is where things start to become more important to see here. Throttle rate setting is at 25. This is a setting that I do play with quite a bit. 25 is where I ended up with here for the Cyclo Nitro Blast event, and is where I would recommend starting for any of the 8 scale races that we do here in the States. If it gets really high traction, you can go lower, but 25 is a good start. Curves linear, neutral range is at 6, initial throttle force at 1. No coast in my e-truggy, although in my electric buggy I do run some coast. Drive frequency I have set at 10, which is in the middle grounds of what I would consider in the ballpark. If you want it to be more aggressive, you can go to 8. If you want it to be smoother, you can go to 12. Softening value. This is one of the things that I will say has been very, very, very helpful for the electric 8 scale side of things. This has extremely been important to help with wheel spin and controllable traction out of corners. I've been running my softening value at 10 degrees and the softening range at 50. The range is basically determining how much trigger you're wanting to pull until you have it set to not be softened. So if you have 50%, that means when you pull 50% of your transmitter throttle, it will be in the softening range at 10% value. Drag brake force is at 0%. There's no reason to run drag brake in the electric 8 scale side of things because the motor has the magnet drag, so you don't want it to slow down quickly. Max brake force is at 60%, which is kind of on the low end, but because the electric 8 scale is it's 4-wheel drive, you don't need too much brake or you'll end up nosediving into corners and flipping over the handlebars. Brake rate is at 8, which I would consider is in the middle ground of where I would traditionally be always at all the different tracks. The brake rate is controlling the, I guess you can say, the quickness. If you feel like the delay, for that matter, if you have it higher, the delay of hitting the brakes will be lower, which will be more instant. And then if you run a lower brake rate, there will be a much more delay. Traditional is pretty standard here, no disc brakes. Brake frequency is at 2, which is what I typically run. Boost settings at 5, and turbo timing is at 12. This is where things kind of become interesting because there's a lot of amp draw, and as the battery gets lower, I run turbo and boost because at the end of the run, when you don't run any boost or turbo, it ends up being kind of too slow for me. If you're a beginner, I probably wouldn't recommend running boost or turbo, but I always recommend running the softening value as I showed you at 10 or even higher. Turbo delay is at 0.1, so the turbo only engages when you hit full throttle after 0.1 of a second. Turbo increases 6 degrees at 1/10, and turbo decreases at 3 degrees per 1/10. As you can see here, my e-truggy, after 10 minutes of running, my max ESC temperature was 158 degrees. My max motor temp was 140. Minimum battery voltage was 11.9, which is pretty standard because it was a 10-minute main and the voltage does fluctuate that much. RPMs is 41,000 for that matter. And then max current was 167.9 amps. So that pretty much covers the ESC settings. As always, guys, these tips and tricks for the electric 8-skill side of things will apply to many of the different tracks here in the United States and overseas. For those who may not be racing or running Hobbywing equipment, most of this stuff will apply for the general information. If you have any questions regarding the electronics, please put in the comments below. I always go back and I try to answer them to my best of my ability. If you have any customer service issues, please contact Charlie at hobbywing.com. We are always trying to help out our racers, customers, whatever it may be. And for those who were watching this all the way through, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you get constant updates for our newest, latest videos that Charlie, Maddie, and I do on the Hobbywing channel. And as always, guys, thank you so much. See you guys at the races. And until then, see you guys on the next one.